Imagine a civilization capable of predicting eclipses, building massive temples without the use of metal, and developing a calendar more accurate than our own. Now imagine that same civilization vanishing out of nowhere, without a trace, without any clear explanation. This is the story of the Maya, one of the most enigmatic peoples in human history. Between the 8th and 9th centuries, entire cities were abandoned, as if the population had simply vanished overnight. But what really happened? Were they victims of a natural disaster, a devastating war, or did they know something we haven't yet discovered? Get ready, because today we're diving into one of the greatest mysteries in modern archaeology. The sudden disappearance of the Maya people may be more disturbing than you think, and the theories range from extreme climate events to the involvement of forces that defy all known logic. And what if their disappearance wasn't just a historical accident, but a warning for our own future? The Maya were not just an ancient people. They were a brilliant, complex, and highly advanced civilization that thrived for over 1,000 years in the dense jungles of Mesoamerica. They built monumental cities like Tikal, Palenque, and Copan, with temples that reached the heavens and pyramids that still defy modern engineering. They created a sophisticated writing system, mastered mathematics, and developed a calendar so precise that many believed it predicted the end of the world. And yet, all of that simply stopped, like a light being switched off. Within just a few generations, urban centers were left behind, inscriptions ceased abruptly, and the jungle reclaimed everything. The people who once read the stars and worshipped mysterious gods vanished, leaving behind only silent stones as witnesses to their legacy. The most disturbing part? There's no single clear cause. The answers lie hidden between myths, fragmented clues, and hypotheses that oscillate between the natural and the supernatural. Today, we follow the traces left by this disappearance, exploring every theory, every contradiction, and every dark detail history tried to bury. After all, what could cause an entire civilization to vanish? And did they truly disappear, or simply hide in plain sight? To understand the mystery of the Maya disappearance, we must first look into the peak of their civilization. The Maya inhabited a vast region that today includes southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and parts of Honduras and El Salvador. During the so-called Classic period, between 250 and 900 AD, they built autonomous city-states, each with its own kings, temples, and ceremonial centers. These cities weren't mere villages, they were planned metropolises, with plazas, astronomical observatories, and pyramids rivaling those of Egypt. And the most impressive part, it was all built without metal tools or beasts of burden. Maya society was strictly hierarchical, ruled by an elite that combined political and religious power. Kings didn't just rule, they were seen as intermediaries between the world of humans and the world of the gods. Their calendar, based on meticulous astronomical observations, revealed an advanced cosmic knowledge. They knew exactly when eclipses would happen and used that power to maintain control over the population. But behind all this splendor lay a fragile structure, upheld by bloody rituals, constant warfare among rival cities, and an extreme dependence on natural cycles. A delicate balance on the verge of collapse. The collapse of the Maya civilization didn't happen overnight. It was gradual, silent, like an empire slowly crumbling through the cracks of its own grandeur. Between the 8th and 9th centuries, something began to go wrong. Flourishing cities were abandoned one by one, stone inscriptions stopped being carved, and the once dominant civilization began to fade into the horizon. Archaeologists have proposed several explanations, and among the most accepted is the occurrence of a series of devastating droughts. Geological records, like lake sediments and cave stalactites, indicate long periods of drought right during the time of decline. With water scarcity and crop failure, famine spread rapidly. Agriculture, the backbone of Maya survival, became unsustainable. There is also evidence of aggressive deforestation to build cities and feed ceremonial fires. The Maya destroyed vast forested areas, worsening local climate changes. On top of that, internal conflicts between city-states intensified. Constant wars, power struggles, and popular uprisings dismantled what little social order remained. Leaders, once seen as demigods, lost their legitimacy in the eyes of a starving, desperate population. Faith broke, the political structure crumbled, and what was once a fragmented empire turned into ruins swallowed by the jungle. But even so, these facts don't explain everything. There are too many gaps, and it's in those gaps that darker theories begin to emerge. When scientific explanations aren't enough to fill the voids left by history, theories that defy logic start to take shape, and the disappearance of the Maya is fertile ground for such interpretations. One of the oldest suggests they were victims of a sudden invasion, an unknown people from outside who swept through the the cities and erase the records. However, to this day, there is no archaeological evidence of large-scale battles or foreign armies. Another theory speaks of a cataclysm, a volcanic eruption, earthquakes, or even a cosmic alignment that triggered natural disasters. But no such events have been recorded with enough force in the geological layers to explain the collapse of an entire civilization. And this is where the darkest theories arise. Some suggest the Maya were connected to entities that demanded the abandonment of the cities as part of a spiritual pact. Others go further, claiming Maya priests accessed parallel dimensions through secret rituals, disappearing from our plane of existence. And of course, there are mentions of extraterrestrial contact, beings from the sky who, after teaching the Maya about the cosmos, took them away to an unknown destination. As far-fetched as these ideas may seem, they gain strength from one disturbing detail. The abandonment was sudden, synchronized, and without signs of destruction, as if the Maya knew it was time to leave. But leave to where and why? And so we reach the most unsettling part of this whole story, the silence. There are no signs of major battles, no mass destruction. The Maya cities weren't burned nor looted. They were left intact, as if their inhabitants simply stood up one day and walked away. In Tikal, Copan, and other metropolises, archaeologists found temples with unfinished offerings, pottery still on altars, and inscriptions that end abruptly. Something interrupted life there, suddenly, and yet without violence. It's as if the Maya received a calling, a warning, or perhaps an order. Could it be they had foreseen some impending catastrophe through their astrological calculations? Did their elites lead a ritualistic exodus away from the cities? Some even believe that the infamous Maya calendar, wrongly linked to the end of the world in 2012, actually marks not an ending, but a transition, a cycle of rebirth. And what if their disappearance wasn't a collapse, but a planned passage into another stage of existence, a ritual so grand that it could only be understood by those who knew the secrets of time, the stars, and human destiny itself? Whatever the answer may be, it still lies hidden beneath the forest roots, and perhaps by unearthing it, we'll discover that the greatest mystery in Maya history isn't their disappearance, but what they knew. The disappearance of the Maya people remains one of the greatest enigmas in archaeology. Even with all the research, excavations, and scientific progress, the truth remains fragmented, like a puzzle missing its most crucial pieces. We know environmental factors, political crises, and internal conflicts contributed to the collapse of their cities, but those elements alone don't explain how it all happened, abruptly, silently, and almost ritually. A civilization capable of reading the sky, predicting cosmic events, and erecting colossal monuments with mathematical precision simply vanished, without leaving behind a definitive explanation. Each new theory, whether scientific or conspiratorial, only brings more questions. And maybe that's what makes the Maya mystery so captivating, the feeling that something is hidden, something that history books won't tell. So, who were the Maya, really? What did they know about the universe, about time, about the future? And what if they didn't vanish, but chose to hide? Now I want to hear your theory. Do you believe the Maya were victims of fate, of their own mistakes, or did they have a greater purpose behind their departure? Leave your thoughts in the comments, share this video with someone who loves a good mystery, and subscribe to the channel, because there are still many secrets buried, waiting to be uncovered.